Hey, Armand here, feeling very casual of a Sunday morning to give you your forecast for the week of May 16th, 2021. Now, you may recall that at the beginning of the month, I said, get it done early in May. And now it's time to say, get it done now. We have tremendous opportunity through about the end of the work week. We have the first quarter moon, the very last degree of Leo, on Wednesday. That is supported by a Venus Saturn trine, which will be very good for building in just about anything. It's great for relationships, but is also really good for financial stuff. It's good for, oh boy, maybe business deals, certainly business projects. It's a pretty good time that we have through there. Then we start catching the energy of a Sun-Jupiter square. Now, squares are tense aspects, but yet the Sun and Jupiter, they kind of get along with each other. The Sun will have gone into Gemini by that point in time, and Jupiter will be in Pisces. You probably saw the video on Jupiter in Pisces. So we have some indication about what's going on with that. So the square between the two of them, well, I'll tell you, at worst, it could be like, saying a lot of stuff that doesn't really have much of a basis in reality. At best, it is kind of entertaining all the different possibilities, so it's great to have possibilities. Exactly how seriously you take them is a little bit more the question. So all of this energy really kind of comes in, peaks right around Wednesday. Right around midweek is probably your most active time, although get stuff done Monday, Tuesday as well, and Thursday. Friday is good, but we start getting close to Saturday's Mercury, Neptune. I picture the little symbols in my head. I couldn't find the name for them. The Mercury Neptune square that'll be characterizing the weekend. And then we start moving into more difficult energy as we go forward from there. Then we get into the Saturn station on the back end of the weekend and coloring things as we go out there. We're really getting to a period of time, and it starts at least Saturday, when things are likely to be very unclear. There's a big push of energy still as we're building towards the full moon eclipse. There is a lot of energy that is moving in the cosmos right now. But that Mercury Neptune square, not so good for sorting information out and knowing what's really going on. Saturn, as the Saturn station comes in, let's say Sunday, Monday particularly, but maybe Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The feel there is one of, certainly Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The feel there is one of heaviness, and if we sort of entertained a lot of possibilities and sort of played fast and loose with the truth, Friday and Saturday, then sooner or later we're going to have to sort of answer for things, and that's the Saturn station. Also, too, the Saturn station tends to it can kind of like push down vitality. Sometimes it pushes down our sense of overall energy. I think it leaves the door open for some minor colds and things like that. Of course, in this day and age, I don't know that has anything to do with anything, but there can be time of low vitality. So you might have a bit of a whoosh, type of thing that build up through the week, and then Saturn kind of lets the air out. Still in all, though, we are moving towards that full moon eclipse, and that is an energy that will sort of keep us going. So it's a temporary little dip, like like in the airplane when you hit an air pocket thing. But then you keep moving. So that's kind of the feel for this week. I would say, you want to get it done early as much as possible. We are dealing with that eclipse energy. We're already feeling it. We're already kind of getting a little bit jangled, perhaps. Now, the thing about eclipses is that they show you what's important, but they do it with a kind of fisheye mirror, kind of expanded, pushing in. Everything looks a little bit bigger, a little bit scarier than it otherwise might. And so that's kind of what we're looking at for this period of time. And it's been building since the new moon back on the 11th, but actually the moon before that was the full moon in Scorpio, which wasn't all that great either. That was back at the beginning of the month. So it's kind of like an extended eclipse season. Next year, the full moon eclipse will be in the sign of Scorpio, which is like a triple whammy. Well, first of all, we'll worry about it when we get there. And second of all, we'll all be fine. Not all of us, but most of us will be fine. So this jangly kind of energy is building. We look at a lot of possibilities and then get a little bit of a letdown there. So the time to actually deal with things on a practical level is someplace Sunday through about Thursday, maybe Friday, and so on. Be aware that Mercury is already in the shadow of his retrograde that happened on Saturday, the 15th. And so mercurial mishaps may begin to manifest. That's a lot of M words. I do a lot of alliterations when Mercury is retrograde, I've noticed. So we're sort of looking at some of those things. It's already probably the computer problems I've been having and so on and so forth are just pretty stunning, but some of that might just be me and my somewhat older computers, although they really do act up right around the retrograde. So there's the story for you. Mercury's coming retrograde. Mercury squaring Neptune. Mercury squaring Neptune in the shadow of his retrograde, and Mercury will square Neptune 3 times. It's going to go forward during the retrograde and then going forward again. So that really does add a difficult aspect to it. That's the water on the computer kind of thing. That's the electronic devices meeting with water. So that's a particular. Mercury square Neptune is probably harder than Mercury retrograde, all in all, because what it does is you can buy into almost anything, especially with Mercury in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces. It's like, why pay attention to the facts when you've got a good story, and that's the full moon eclipse that is coming too in the Sagittarius Gemini axis. It's a little bit of, we got some good stories. Why should we stop and listen to the facts? So that kind of stuff is going to be going on. It's all over the collective, obviously, but it's also in our personal lives. We're a little bit more willing to sort of bend the truth or to accept a truth that is bent a little bit. We're heading into a period of time that lasts through about mid-June, where this sort of wonky and potentially, I don't want to say difficult, but when we talk about Mercury retrograde, it's like, okay, well, it's time to step back and not push forward and not, and all of that type of thing. It's great. You go to pay your credit card bill online and the site won't load and you got to meet it by the deadline or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your car inspected. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like, you're trying to, write a novel and this is not a good time to go forward, or you got to go buy a computer. Sometimes you're just trying to do everyday stuff and it kind of jams up a little bit. So expect a little bit of that. See what you can do to reduce your frustration levels with that. And just generally speaking, make hay while the sun shines, which is just about through the end of this week. But I'll tell you more next week.